This is the space where the world turns. Earth battles human will. Elements challenge engineering. Nothing must come between your Silverstone tires and the road. Silverstone, this is the science of full contact.
Good evening to everyone present here tonight. My name is Brian and I will be your host for tonight. On behalf of the JPO family, we'd like to extend a warm welcome to everyone tuning in for tonight's broadcast. We hope that everyone is doing well and staying safe indoors. A friendly reminder to maintain good hygiene at all times and maintain social distancing when heading out. As we'd like to continue improving your experience with us, please help us achieve this by completing the poll that will be published during this broadcast. If you have any questions you'd like to ask, please feel free to type them out in the Q&A section down below, and we'll address them shortly. To anyone who is interested in sharing tonight's broadcast, a live feed will be shared on the JPO Facebook page, and a recording of the webinar will also be uploaded on the Facebook page. Firstly, we'd like to apologize for a small mix-up in yesterday's scheduling, as the pianist from Korea will only be joining us at a later date. Tonight's broadcast, however, should be just as interesting, with the topic being musical journey and experiences, to which the JPO is very honored to have Yap Yen joining us as our special guest tonight. I hope you will all join me in giving her a warm welcome. Yap Yen is a professional violinist whose musical career started at the age of 6, and has since then been involved with many orchestras and functions. She has been with the RTM Orchestra in Kuala Lumpur between the years 1992 and 2015, assuming both concertmaster as well as violin soloist roles. She has since then returned to Kuching to assume her current position as the head of the entertainment and music section of RTM Kuching. As such, she has performed with both local and international stars of the music industry, such as Datuk Siti Nurhaliza, the Asian Philharmonic Orchestra, and Richard Klederman. She is also active within the music industry as a conductor for string ensembles, participation in musical workshops as an instructor, as well as a violin teacher in her own time, as means to achieve her goal of expanding our music industry. Once again, without further ado, a very good evening to you, Yap Yen, and welcome to tonight's broadcast. Thank you for joining us tonight. So, what can you tell us about the video that we were just watching? Sorry, everyone. Seems to be a small technical issue.
I'm sorry. Is that now? Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
All right. Okay. Yeah. The first one, the commercial that I did was for the Silverstone tires. There is one part of the session that one of the session that I've done during when I was in KL. Yeah. So I've done a commercial and all this advertisement thing. Like this is one of them. You can hear all the string parts in the commercial. They are all done by me alone.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm playing many tracks of And the second video was the one with the orchestra. And that was live on TV. This is a solo. That was a concert Sudirman, I think. Yeah, it's tribute to Sudirman, our local the late Sudirman. Yeah. So that was the whole solo piece is called the piece was that was called Hilang Berganti. Yeah. And then the last one was just I think somebody must be drunk or something or tipsy, took that video and sent it to me that night. It was a gig in No Black Tie. So I was playing with the jazz trio. Yeah. It's one of the gigs. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. That's interesting, though. Would you like to share a brief recount of your journey as a musician with us?
Yeah. Okay. I have some pictures that can be shared. There are few I've done like you can see that I'm playing with this is the in Korea and Japan. There's Asian Philharmonic Orchestra. Yeah. It was a bit scary that time because this conductor is really popular in Korea, actually in the world also. Yeah, Moon Yoon Jung is very famous, and it was quite scary because when I reached there, they put my name on the second desk. Yeah, I was like very near to the conductor, so yeah, I was representing Malaysia and sitting on the second desk. This is scary, but it was a very good experience. Yeah, I learned a lot from there. Yeah, and there's a few more. This one is Harry Potter. Yeah, well, you can see Yabling in there too. Yeah, we did that. This one is a Harry Potter production. Yeah, it's the whole production team came down to KL, and then they had this screen behind, played the Harry Potter movie, and then the whole orchestra just follow that the Harry Potter movie. We did that soundtrack live with audience. Yeah. Okay, this one is also quite scary for me. My experience. This is with the Romanian Radio National Orchestra. I was playing duet with Lim Jason. So yeah, this is quite a good challenging experience too. This I've done this in a MPO, I think Philharmonic Hall. Yeah. This one is the Richard Klederman. Yeah, Richard Klederman tour, concert tour. Very interesting tour. 5 places. Yeah, in Malaysia. This another one, the Francis C. Ellen Tam concert. I'm not sure whether you know these singers. Okay, that's Lewis Hamilton. You know, Lewis Hamilton is the F1 driver. Yeah, it's not musician, but I met him backstage. It was like very very, yeah. He's like a very superstar at that time. He's F1, yeah, driver. And then Lewis Hamilton is yeah. And this is Bensame and Tommy Page, and this is the Indonesian, yeah. This is Indonesian Christianity and late Idris Saldi, the violinist. Yeah, yeah. This is some of the pictures, and yeah, this is the family and friends recital. Yeah, my family, yeah, family recital. This is yeah, yeah. Oh, yes.
Alright.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, that's about all. These are the extras pictures later on. So, yeah.
all right. So in that sense, I think we'll move on to our first question for the day. So in that sense, how do you think music can relate to a person?
Well, music actually plays a central role in many people's lives. Yeah, you and me, and it started from the womb. Yeah, when you were in the womb, the baby in the womb, until you leave this earth. Yeah, it's music. When you have a lullaby, your mom sing to you when you're in the womb. It's already started. This music is like from very 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 young age. Yeah, and it's also a universal language. Yeah, music it knows no skin colors, backgrounds or beliefs of any individual. Yeah, everybody just same. Okay, and then there are some songs you can relate to our. It can also motivate, yeah, influence our life. There are some lyrics here. These are one of them. We are the world. Yeah, there you can see. I'm not sure whether it's clear or not, but yeah, we are the world, we're the children. You can see all these lyrics actually relate to our life. Yeah, it's very meaningful and very motivating. So music is actually you can actually influence someone. If you have the lyric meaningful, people will start singing, and somehow they'll relate to them. Yeah, these are the few songs lyric that you can see here. And then this one, Black Eyed Peas. Yeah, this one. Yeah, it's a rap song. It's like, yeah, you can read up there because I it's not very clear on my monitor. So
Yeah.
yes.
So, yeah. Yeah. So moving on. Yep. So in that sense, what good does music do to us?
Well, can you imagine if there's no music? Yeah, how empty the world would be.
Sure.
So it helps us express our emotions. If you feel, sometimes you listen to a song when you're sad, and then you like certain type of songs, and then it calms you down, or when you're angry or you're frustrated or things like that. So yeah, music actually can it does that. Yeah. So and then it helps. It is very good for our brain. Yeah? It's a total brain workout. So keep brain engaged through the aging process. Research shows that music can reduce actually anxiety, the pressure and pain, improve sleep quality, mood, mental alertness, and memory. Yeah. So John Hopkins once said that keep your brain young with music.
All
So
right.
yes.
All right. In that sense, what does it take to become a good musician in terms of doing gigs or performances? What, in your opinion?
Okay, this is okay. Musician needs to have the passion and drive to dedicate a large portion of their lives to practicing, playing shows, and doing promotions. Yeah, become a musician through passion, talent, and practice with tips from a professional musician. So you don't want to go and just simply ask somebody how to play this and play that, but make sure you get a professional musicians to give you tips and help you, teach you. Yeah, then you have to invest also in the good instruments and music scores. Yes, and then one who studies the music instruments and study music, the scores, learn to read well with the intent of being capable enough to take any and every gig that comes your way. Invest time in networking. And meet every musician you can. Go to town, you see all the people doing gigs and all that. Introduce yourself and jam with them, maybe, and then to introduce yourself. If they don't know you, they won't call you. Yeah. So if you get the gig, you show up early and you need to learn the material before yes. So, and then also one more thing for lots of musicians, so be sober, okay? Don't drink too much during the gig, and then you stop listening to what you're playing, and so you learn to listen to and play with the band and or orchestra as well. Yeah, watch your volume, watch the overplaying, pay attention to your tone, listen to the drummer, support the singer, all these things. Yeah, so it's very important. And also never stop learning. It's very important. Never say no out of fear. No, I'm scared, it's too difficult, and then somehow you just stop and give up. Now getting your musical butt kicked is one of the best ways to learn. Yeah, never be afraid to ask. If you ask the questions, you sound dumb for 10 seconds, but if you don't ask the questions, you'll sound dumb for the rest of your life.
Thanks for that, Yap Yan. That was very insightful. In that sense, as I mentioned earlier, it is your goal to improve our music industry. So, in your opinion, how do we boost our music industry? Is there anything that our current efforts are lacking in and such?
Yeah, there's a lot. Like, okay, there are few, I think creating music friendly and musicians friendly policy, by organizing concerts, workshops, master classes with other schools. The problem of some of us is like we school, but I do not want to mix with other schools. You tend to have your own concerts and everything is your own. Yeah, you need to have a combined performances, combined with that is how you boost the industry. Yeah, everybody come together, play together. Yeah, so that students and teacher will learn to have open minds, improve skills and teamwork at the same time, gain new experiences and make new friends. Yeah, and also another thing that we need is space. I think we are lack of rehearsal halls, concert halls, and all that thing. So yeah, if without all these things, then there's no platform for us to actually perform, and yeah, so yeah, we'll try to work on that also. Yes.
Fair enough. All right. In that sense, like reverting, going back to like individual stuff. So, what traits or habits should a good instrumentalist emphasize on in that sense?
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
um, I think good musicians, you need to emphasize discipline. Okay, punctuality is the key. Okay, you have to come before time. If let's say rehearsal at 10 o'clock, you got to be there early. You got to tune up, you got to warm up before you actually play, before the conductor actually start. Yeah, and then your reputation. Reputation, if you have a good reputation, it will determine your career path. Okay, practicing the correct way, it will save a lot of time. Always practice the difficult part first, and then practice really slow in the beginning, and shorter hours daily rather than long hours weekly. We practice every day, bit by bit, but rather than you just whole week you just play once, take about 10 hours to practice. It doesn't work that way. Okay, and don't practice hard. Practice smart. That is the key. Yeah. The and another thing is the pitch and the rhythm. Yeah, it's very crucial. When you practice or you play, you need to the tuner. You need the tuner, yeah, to check your pitch. If you're not very sure, yeah. Most difficult is the strings instrument, yeah. Is especially the violin and bowing instruments or French horn, all this. I think you need the tuner to actually to put you in the pitch, because you might think that you are in tune, but you're not. So just to double check, yeah. So metronome also for rhythm. So you need tuner and you need metronome when you practice. Okay, metronome is for your rhythm. Okay, especially for the drummers or those rhythm section. Yeah. You need to practice with metronome. Yeah. And another thing is blending. When you play in a team, when you play in a group, you cannot play like you're playing alone. You cannot. You need to actually blend your sound. Yeah, everybody got to sound like one. Then the music will be good.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope any people learning, anyone that's watching the stream that's like still studying music, took a few notes over there. So in that sense, through your own music journey and your professional experiences, can you share some advice with those who plan to pursue music as a career?
Okay. Let's see. One, choose the right path and the right friends. Okay. If friends are lazy among you, you become lazy. Yeah. Okay. So choose the right friends. And number two, never stop learning and improving. Yeah. Every day until today, until you're 90 years old, you're still learning. You can still learn. And number three, stay away from bad influence. It's very important. I've seen a lot of good musicians. Um, they go, they're nothing now. They don't go anywhere. They just sit at home. Nobody calls them for gigs and no performances. And they are, yeah, bad influences. Yeah, like those drugs and alcohol abuse and things like that. So stay away from those things. Yeah, and or be good of what you do to get ahead. You need skills and talent. If you don't have these two, you need to practice a lot and a lot to be up there. And a good reputation, like what I said before. Yeah, you need to have skills, discipline, attitude for anything. Yeah, no delaying. Or do it tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow and tomorrow. No, do it tomorrow. Got new things to learn. Yeah, and push yourself by creating opportunities. Sometimes things doesn't come your way, but you sit down there and wait. Don't wait. Go out and find something to do. Yeah, and practice smart. Like I said, practice smart. Don't practice the wrong way. Then it will really waste your time. And you have to share, respect, and do not judge, and work together with others. You don't judge others and come to that guy is not good. This don't do that. That's very bad. Yeah, and do not discriminate also. No race, no religion, no age, no gender bias, nothing. When you sit together, music talks, okay? Yeah, there's nothing else. So this will help those who actually trying to get into this industry.
Thanks. Thank you for all your advice, Yap Yan.
Welcome.
All right. So now we'll be moving on to the Q&A section. So as has been mentioned, everyone's encouraged to ask questions through this method. So first question of the day from our viewers is from Nuraini Harun, who has asked, when did you learn jazz violin?
Oh, okay. We'll talk about jazz. Actually, I started from classical. Yeah, jazz is when I started with RTM, and then my boss is actually see that I can play certain type skills probably, but actually I'm not a really jazz player. I don't play jazz. I feel jazz, but I do not really improvise jazz. If I do a gig, you previously when you watch the video in the beginning, yeah, those are written out parts. Yeah, it's not improvised. It's improvised, written improvisation. Yeah, so I just learned that, and then I just feel the jazz. That's all. But if you ask me to improvise, I don't do it. Yeah. So that is how I practice. I'm a reader. I mean, yeah, basically, I'm just a sight reader. I'm a very good sight reader.
All right. All right. Well, that's interesting. No. And that's next question of the day is how how uh how would you advise someone to deal with performance anxiety?
Ah, nervous, is it? Going up stage and all that. You see, when if the, before going on to a stage to perform, you see those people who is very confident. Why? Because probably they know the piece up and down. They know the whole score. That's why they're not. They even they close your eyes so they can play. That's why they have the confidence. They are not nervous. They don't have that anxiety. You need to practice until that stage. Yeah, before you actually perform. If you are still halfway, you are not over 100%. That is why you get the anxiety and nervous before going up the stage. Yeah. Does that answer your questions?
I think that should have answered it. Yep. All right. So moving on to the next question. All right. Let's see. Yep. So if you could go open a show for any artist, who would you like to? Who would the artist be?
Hmm. Me. I don't have actually. Okay, I'm so sorry, but I don't have actually have one particular artist in mind. Yeah. I am more like now, do it now, learn it now, practice now. You got the show, you got the performance, whatever artist it is that you need. If it's a jazz, you better feel jazz in you. You know, if it's classical, you make sure you do not slide your notes and all that. That is what I do normally. But to say which artist, um, at the moment, I can't think of any. Yeah, all every any artist like is welcome. Yeah. So sorry.
Understandable. And I think that sort of answered the question as well anyway. So yeah. So moving on to the next one. How would you advise someone to be a good sight reader?
Ah, okay. I think you just have to play a lot because I notice nowadays, yeah, children when the students when they go to music lessons, they only do like 2-3 piece books maybe they do 2-3 books then only 3 pieces come back you practice once a week. I mean for the 1 week and then you go back and take another 3 piece. No, actually you need to play more than that. You need to take whatever you go to the shops, you buy a lot of books or whatever and then you just play. You just read and read and read and read all the time. That will help your set read. You cannot just read only that few music pieces that you do for that 1 week. It's not enough. Yes. The more you play different type of songs, different notes, whatever songs you like, classical, pop, whatever, it will help your set read. Yes. That reading will be improved.
All right. Well, that's a very helpful answer. Thank you. So moving on to our next question. So how do you know that you are putting your shoulder rest correctly, and how do you know that you are holding your bow correctly?
Oh, okay. That is very hard for me to explain here. Yeah, shoulder, you put on the shoulder, yeah, your shoulder. Because some people, when they hold the shoulder, they put the shoulder, they put it here. It's supposed to go this way. Here. This is shoulder, not here. A lot of people put their shoulder on the chest. Yeah, so put it on the shoulder. Move your shoulder a bit. Yeah, like this. And then another one is
How do you know that you are holding the bow correctly?
the ball correctly. Mirror. Stand in front of a mirror and practice. Yeah, so you will know that your ball straight. Yeah, and then this also you need to be to demonstrate for you. But yeah, the teacher, you need somebody to be there to guide you. If not, during the practice, you have to watch yourself on the mirror, see whether it's straight, and the holding a ball, yeah, it has to be correct so that you can get the nice tone. It's very important. Yeah.
All right. No, thanks for the answer. Um, yeah, so uh, okay, I'm not too sure about this one, but okay. How are you doing during this lockdown?
Oh, very busy.
Very busy.
Unfortunately, too busy. Busier than normal days. Yeah, got a lot of reports and take care of my son whole day, 24 hours from morning until night, cooking, washing. Yeah, it's a lot of things there. And then I do online teaching too. Yeah, I'm using FaceTime actually to with my students. So yeah, there's a lot to do. Not really cleaning up the house, but other things keep me busy. I do practice so once in a while, going in if I have time. I just go into my music room and just play some things. Yeah, just
All
keep
right.
my finger.
Glad to see that you're keeping yourself busy then. Okay, in that sense, all right, we'll move on to the next question. So our next question is, oh, let me take a look at this. Sorry about this. Yep. Okay, so this is a question from Facebook. So, is practicing really important?
Oh yeah, it's important. If you are very talented, you maybe can relax a bit. But if you know if you have your talent is not that there yet, or but there's a lot of category of musicians. Yeah, some is like really you just put anything they can do it for you, but there are some that they need practice maybe like twice, some they need 2 weeks. So it depends on the players. Okay, I don't say that you need to practice every single day, because I know nowadays a lot of children and adults, if working people, they don't have the time. Yeah, but you need to know where you stand. If you are the type that you need a longer time to get it right, then you need that time to practice. If you are those people who don't need so much time, then you still need to practice, but remember, practice the right way. They save a lot of time.
Yeah, practice smart but not too hard,
Yeah.
basically. All right, so moving on to the next question. When did you decide on a classical music training career, and why did you decide to go on this path?
um, Actually, now I do more pop and other stuff than classical, but I do practice classical. I have my quartet and string ensemble here that I just formed when I came back to Kuching. Yeah, so now, yeah, we have to put a stop during this MCO, but yeah, I do classical with them. But in my work in RTM, it's mostly pop, like what you saw in the video. Pop is not like, oh, it's easy or no, but it needs a lot of how you do it? Feel. You know, it's the easier the song, you need more feel into it. Okay, because if the notes on the very little notes, then you need to feel. You need to get a very nice feel, tones and all that. Yeah, it's more. You need it more than others. Those past songs. Yeah. So at the moment, yeah, I'm doing more pops and classical. Classical, yes, you need to have classical background for all the, I think, musicians, especially violins. You need that because the techniques all from there. From there, then you can slowly move to jazz or whatever you want, but you need to have that technique, yeah, classical technique.
Okay, that's very interesting. Thank you. So now, the next question is: when approaching a pop song on the violin, do you play literally to the lyrics and intention of the song, or based on the general feel? So I think, yeah, you kind of answered this just now.
Yeah, it's general feel. And actually, if you know the lyric, because most of the time I sight read a lot, so maybe this song is like, some my experiences. One time I went on the stage. Most of the time, if I go up on the stage with my boss, the Dato' Bozani, he will just put anything in front, even like 2 minutes before perform for the performance. Yeah, we just play this song. Somebody request this song, you just play this song. I was like, okay, then you just have to feel straight away. You don't know the lyrics. You have no time to even go through it. You just hope that there is no written error error in there that you make you play mistake. That is what you hope for. The rest is you just need to feel, yeah, to get that music out to your audience. Don't play it to yourself, but play out to the people who's listening, the listeners and the audience. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So basically, it has to be a nice mix of technical skills and your own feeling to it.
Yeah.
That's nice to know. Thank you. So what? So next question is, what do you enjoy most about being a musician?
Oh, you can see all my pictures, right? Smiley
Fair.
face and all that. Yeah, it was it's a fun journey. It's a really, really fun journey, you know. And now I'm in Kuching. I don't travel so much as like I don't have a lot of big shows and all that. Yeah, but we are creating some small groups here and things like that. But in my past in Kuala Lumpur, my experience, my journey and experiences is like, yeah, it was just fun. It's nice. It's a happy moment actually. I have no regrets. I
That's
hope I can create something here also in Kuching soon. Yeah, before I
okay.
retire.
All the best to you with it then. In that sense. All right. So, okay. So moving on. May I know yep. So the next question is, may I know why your whole family turned into musical lovers?
You have to ask my mom and dad. Yeah, they were musicians somehow. Yeah, my mom actually played piano, and my dad um can play a little violin, but he doesn't read, but he plays the violin, and then harmonica and all that. But both of them sing. Yeah, my mom was teaching in the primary school, teaching music in primary school, things like that. And somehow, when you were young, um, you have the mother, who love music. They send the daughter, son off for music lessons. Yeah, send and send and send, and then during the period of learning, argue with them. Or sometimes you're lazy. They scold you. Please go practice. Like how I do it with my son now. Every day I have to say like, please go practice and things like that. So, but when it's not the whole family is not all into music. It's not like as a career. Okay, we all can play music, but some of us we just feel like, yeah, you reach a certain stage that you suddenly realize, wow, this is what I want to do. I want to just carry on. But yeah, one of my brother said, nah, I want to be IT, into IT, and but we all still can get together and play music because from young we have been sent to lessons. Yeah, so yeah, that is how we all get together and perform for the Yap Family concert.
Understandable. So yeah. So moving on to the next question from Jay Lee. At RTM, do you have opportunities to rearrange pop or classical music scores? Have
Yeah,
you had
yeah,
that?
yeah. We have a very good arranger here. One of quite a good arranger here. Yeah, he does anything. You just give him, and then he will take his time to finish for you. But yeah, he will do a good job on anything, classical to pop to jazz to anything. Because it's just a good arranger. Yeah. But I
Okay.
don't arrange. I don't do arrangements. Yeah.
All right. All right. So now moving on to the next one. What advice do you have for people who want to form their own bands?
What type of bands? Pop bands? Okay, any type of bands. Yeah. I think first you need to get the right people in the band. Yeah. For my string ensemble, I need to do auditions. Those I know, professionally, I will call them to first to get together and play music. But after that, I will open up for audition, sit-in audition, you know, to come in, or you got to get the right career, because once they're in the band, it's very hard to tell them afterwards like, excuse me, we don't need you in the band. It's very difficult. So that is the first step. You make sure you get the right person into your band. Yeah, and then everybody got to practice and play like really really together. It's very important when you're talking in a group. You need to have teamwork. a really, really strong teamwork.
Understandable. Everybody has to have the same feel for that music.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. All right. So moving on. How would you advise a student to practice by themselves after probably ATCL and they are no longer taking lessons from any teachers? How would you suggest that they learn on their own?
Okay. Either you can't just practice alone, and because your knowledge and your techniques, you can you cannot grow. You can improve, but you cannot grow further. You still need to go and get lessons from others, or ask someone, or you still need new things every day, new inputs. Yeah. So it's best that if you can maybe, okay, if you don't want to find any teachers or anything, but you still can like form a group or something like that. Form a band, or form a string ensemble, or whatever, a big band or something like that, or join them, so that you still can get that play. You know, you can learn, you can see people, and then you can ask. You can always ask, how do you do this? How do you need that? You cannot just sit alone in a room and think that you're going to become a really improved a lot, and yeah, it's difficult.
I don't know. Yep. So yep. So moving on to the next question. So another question from Jay Lee, and I think I'll add a bit to it as well. So he says that ensembles often have a falling out. So in other words, they tend to break apart and everything. So what's your advice to keep the group going? And this is my personal question. Like, what do you feel is the cause? What do you feel is a general cause for such occurrences of falling out?
Okay. I think it's quite difficult to have someone. You got to have a very strong leader in a group. You have to appoint not not necessary to be you, but you can appoint someone who can lead really lead the group. Yeah, who people will listen to him or her. Yeah, so is sometimes it's very difficult to get everyone to come at one time and things like that. But you don't get put off, like you don't give up. If in a group you have 10 people, 10 musicians, yeah, and today there are two say, oh, I'm sick, or I'm I got this, I got that. Yeah, just let them be, and then you still continue with eight of them, the other eight of the musicians. You got to just keep on going. Yeah, because if you see like, oh, some leader they are like that, oh, I think today we don't have enough people, then cancel, just cancel the rehearsals. No, always keep it going. Yeah, even if four, or you still can go on. You just don't stop. Yeah, that is my advice. Keep
Alright.
going. Yeah.
But in that sense, regarding and with relation to the same question, then,
Yeah.
if a problem does come up in a group that causes the group members to start like arguing and such, like and about to break up, like how would you advise the group to keep their unity strong and stuff?
Like previously I said, music is when you play in a group, music talks, because now when I'm in coaching here, what I'm going to do is, I know that a lot of schools don't mix with other schools and all that, no, this is my students, no, you cannot take my students, blah blah blah, a lot of that things going on here, because so what I do is I take everyone. Okay, this is like because we don't pay anything, it's free, everybody can join. So I'm going to take everyone in, even if the A have some problem with the B, I still call both of them in. If B say, A is there, I do not want to join, then it's your loss. It's not our loss. So somehow they will come in together. This is what I'm trying to do, to put everybody in, even though they are not in good terms, but to tell them that when you sit together in one group and play music talks. You don't have to open your mouth. You don't have to like that person, but your music can like each other. play together. That's why you need a very strong leader. That one leader can put everything together, and stop all these things from happening. Yeah. Just
Okay.
play music, making music. Yeah.
That's very good insight then. Thank you, Ian. So yeah, so right now we're kind of short on questions in the Q&A section. So if anybody has any questions they would like to ask, feel free to just ask about anything really, anything that's related to music. So yeah, all right. Okay, in that sense, but I think, yep, so I think we'll come to the end of our session for today. So, sorry everyone, but as I said, we're coming to the end of tonight's broadcast. We would like to remind everyone that our JPO family program will be broadcasted every night until the 14th of April. So as a break from strings instrumentalists, for tomorrow's session, we have a treat for trumpet enthusiasts, to which further details can be found on our Facebook page. A video recording of tonight's broadcast will also be provided on the Facebook page, along with past webinars and the soon-to-be broadcasted interviews. So feel free to share the Zoom webinar registration link or the Facebook page to your friends and family. So, saying that, you guys have been an amazing audience today, and many thanks to all your questions. So I hope you got the answer that you wanted. And if any of you have any questions that you'd like to ask before before the Q&A section closes off, feel free to send them in, and Yap Yen will answer them in writing. So other than that, we from the JPO family wishes that everyone stays safe and healthy while continuing to stay at home as we all fight this pandemic together. So without further ado, Eric will now lead the prayer to end tonight's program. Please pray in whatever faith you believe in regarding the COVID-19 pandemic. On to you, Eric.
Okay. Hello, testing. All right. Let us pray. For the God, we are in the midst of a new viral epidemic and we are to be saddened by it. We pray that you bring healing to the sick and sustain our frontline medical workers. Grant us state faith to all that we may stand in solidarity and to prevention and overcoming of this epidemic. Grant us a repentant heart to learn and the lesson and from this epidemic and this day onwards to play our proper roles in the protection of the ecosystem. We pray this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
All right. Thank you, Eric. So good night to everyone, and we'll see you all. We hope to see you all again at the same time tomorrow.